Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of Tyria Reforged, ladies and gentlemen. We've come up with a alternate title for this Guild Wars news podcast, since we've already done a Tyria Now show in the past, and it was Guild Wars 2 centric. Instead of awkwardly resurrecting that and pretending the last one didn't happen, we're actually going to reforge the title and go with Tyria Reforged for our All Things Guild Wars, primarily Guild Wars 1 and 3 news podcast. Miko, welcome to Tyria Reforged.
Thank you, Aaron. Kind of makes us, we talked about, boy, we really wish we'd called this Planetaria, and then we wouldn't be running into this. Should we really call this? But we're calling it now. But yeah, but here we are, guys. Welcome to Tyria Reforged.
And let's be real, guys. This was a search engine optimization decision. No, not really, but it's that is certainly an advantage. But I think it's a snazzy title. So
It is a snazzy title.
thank you, ArenaNet, for kind of handing that one up on a silver platter. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to talk about the mobile release of Guild
Yeah,
Wars Reforged, aka Guild Wars 1. This is now available on mobile devices on app stores.
it is.
We both played it.
Yes, we've been tinkering around with it, trying to get a feel for what we think of it and what we think about playing on mobile.
I played this for about an hour. What about you?
Yeah, after all of the tinkering that I did, it's probably about the same. Hmm.
Okay, gotcha. Have you watched any content from like other people on how other people are finding Guild Wars Mobile?
Yes, I watched the live stream that Loranity did with one of the 2 weeks devs on Friday. Um, what was that? January 26th, not January, June 26th. And that was actually kind of interesting. Lorena was talking about how they've been playing on their phone, obviously, but then also connecting it to almost like a Steam Deck controller,
Hmm.
and used a capture card as well for like the Steam Deck to basically stream from it. It was actually kind of neat just to see. And the idea was that they're having a good time playing on the phone, but sometimes that feel of the controller and buttons just feels good.
Right.
Yeah.
This is kind of a way to, because I know there's like a Steam Link you can do to play like Steam games on your TV
Hmm.
with like some latency. Probably similar peripherals like the one you just mentioned exists
Hmm.
for mobile devices TV. I don't follow gaming peripherals or like
Yeah.
extra add-on things you can
Yeah.
use
Me
like
neither.
that
Well, I
too
mean,
closely.
yeah. Hmm.
I remember like 15 years ago, the Ouya was a thing. That's about all I can remember as far as like hook this controller into your phone
Yeah.
type of thing. But that does sound like a good idea. This has alerted me before we dive into the gameplay. This has alerted me to the fact that I desperately need to get a new phone
Yeah.
because my phone turned into a thermonuclear warhead as soon as
My
I ran this.
And what are you what phone are you
So I'm on
using?
a Samsung Galaxy S20,
Okay.
which is a 6-year-old device at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on a iPhone 17 Pro, and it also got warm. But one thing that the 2 weeks dev mentioned in the live stream was that you can change the FPS from 60 because it defaults to 60
Oh,
to
okay.
30. And so what he did was he himself, when he got the game running on his phone, he's like, I immediately changed it to 30, because that will just play nicer with battery life and
Mhm.
device heat.
Yeah.
So I did try that out on my phone, and I mean the 17 Pro is kind of made for a bunch of different things, but mobile gaming is one of the things that they tend to show off at with the iPhones.
It's one of the things people do most on their phones, so that checks out.
Yeah, and it was still warming up, and I've got some other mobile games on my phone, and I haven't experienced the same kind of warming. Um, that I did with Guild Wars. Um,
Yeah, this
yeah.
one's interesting because it's a heavy game in that it's like a 3D online RPG, but it's
Mhm.
also 25 years old, you know,
Right.
or 20 years old, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So how did the specs balance out? I don't know, right? Like I play Slay the Spire and Balatro on my phone
Mhm.
primarily, and those cost nothing to run, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, just rendering 3D graphics on your mobile device, I guess, is pretty intensive still, even for a 20-year-old product. Um,
Yeah, it was it's interesting because Guild Wars, as we know, Guild Wars 1, it's not like the same kind of heavy intense like graphics for like the combat. You do get some flashiness. But it's not like you've got fluid combat motion where you're having to like move your character around a lot.
no, you can play Guild Wars 1 like RuneScape. Like you can
Mhm.
play it like a point and click, like a click to walk, click to skill
Right.
RPG, and you could like be successful at the game that way.
Oh, yeah.
I was click walking a lot because I don't like the thumb pad thing. I
Mhm.
don't like having my thumb on the screen all the time.
So the interesting thing that I found and which they showed off on the live stream is that you can actually put your thumb anywhere and the little thumb pad controller moves wherever you've got your thumb down, which is different from the other mobile games that I play. Um, so I thought that that was kind of neat that they chose to do that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. I definitely prefer to play on PC.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't think that's a shocker to most people. I think most people would probably prefer to play on PC, but I did find the experience of like turning this on at the office on my lunch break very novel.
Yeah,
It was a kind of a having a game that I like was addicted to as a kid
yeah,
on my phone on my lunch break is kind of crazy.
yes,
So that was kind of a nice experience. I did see that when I brought the app up on the App Store, it said
mhm.
contains ads.
Yeah, I
Are
have
there
not run
ads in
into that.
this?
I have not run into that, and I'm wondering if that's if you are creating a new account as a
Maybe.
way to kind of, like, monetize and pay for, the app development. Um, but yeah, because I think they did bring that up in the live stream and, for existing accounts, we're obviously not seeing that. I haven't seen that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I haven't seen any ads. But I was like, can you play this? Like, if you're new, can you play this for free and like just see an ad over your mini map every so often or
Right,
something?
yeah, I wonder how they would, like, handle 'cause ads in mobile games are a thing, and they can be quite intrusive, but usually, like, if you're playing something like a solitaire or something like that, it will they'll pop up. You guys know. I don't know why I'm even explaining this, but they'll pop up after you've, like, finished a round. How does that work with a mobile game? I don't like a Guild Wars MMO type game.
Loading screen
Um,
ad for sure. You pop the loading screen and
right, yeah.
you gotta learn about Charmin toilet paper for 20 seconds before you can get into Lakeside County.
Right,
What kind of so when you booted it up,
right.
how were you finding the UI, the interface, stuff like that?
So when I first installed the game, or it installed on its own, since I had already like looked at it in the App Store um, some weeks ago, it it came in and it was a bit buggy. And then they apparently threw out some like hot fixes, and that just bugged out my local download even more. And so I was having scaling issues. So I would like set it to be like it was at first on like the largest text size, and I was like, that feels really cramped on the screen with all of like the stuff going on. I need to see a little bit more and not so much of like the icons. And then so I moved it down and it got super really tiny. And then I moved it back up and it still stayed super tiny. So I ended up having to uninstall it and reinstall it, and that fixed it. But it wasn't until I watched the live stream that I realized that Loranity's was getting more like graphic purchase on their screen. And so I was like, huh, I think there's something bugged out with my installation. Um, so that's when I tried the reinstall and realized, oh yeah, we've got some issues here.
Yeah, so you played day one of release for this then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I waited a couple days. I didn't want to run into anything like that, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'll give it like a good 24 hours or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
When I loaded it, it looked pretty good. I was
Yeah.
very skeptical of mobile because I don't play like complex games. Like I only play
Mm.
card games on my phone, right?
Right.
Because that like makes sense to me in my
Sure.
millennial brain
Right.
of
Right.
something you can play with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But this works from but despite the fact that I'm not super interested in playing Guild Wars 1 on mobile, even after playing it, it does work remarkably well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was able to like go do things, right? Like I completed a quest or two.
Yeah.
Um, I like went out and I was on my pre-searing character and
Okay.
I went out and like went to Lakeside County and like killed a bear. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was remarkable that I could successfully do that on a phone screen. Um, I really liked how the different ways they've scaled the UI interfaces, the storage
Mm-hmm.
interface, which you pointed out to me is really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Um, the inventory interface I like better on mobile than on the PC.
Right. Yeah.
You can resize everything on PC, of course, so you can
Yes.
like make your own version of this if you really like this
Yeah.
UI. I'm too lazy to do such a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you could totally do that on the PC version. But yeah, I love the presentation of it on mobile. It's pretty good. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is pretty good. And I just wanted to kind of do some comparison, which I'll put up on the screen here, for our YouTube viewers, just to compare like the navigational menus. I think that they could do, because they've done a lot of essentially like porting over of their assets from the PC client to mobile. Um, and they added in that the menu, the drop down menu that you can tap. I find that button still a little bit too small, and its placement kind of weird, because they didn't want to move like the mini map. Um, and so I what I'm showing on the screen is just a comparison, like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. Those are the other two mobile games that I've got on my phone. Um, and they've created a larger menu with bigger text, um, and then the navigation menu with icons along the top, top right, and that it's you've still got the same kind of controls that you do with Guild Wars, in terms of moving your character, running, interacting with the world. That is very, very similar to Guild Wars. Um, but the navigation menu is just, it feels a little bit more modern because it's using icons, and it saves you from having to have like a drop down menu. So I wonder if, as they get feedback from players, if they will kind of give the mobile client its own, a little bit more unique UI, that's still in keeping with the aesthetic of the game.
I think they will, because the way they went over that they're going to be dedicated to supporting all the games that they have available.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think of Guild Wars Mobile as a separate game, not in terms of it being separated. It's obviously just you're playing Guild Wars,
Mm-hmm.
but I imagine whatever team works on that is like, we do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I imagine they're taking all sorts of feedback and looking
Mm-hmm.
into upgrading things because I couldn't figure out. I don't think you can customize the UI yourself on mobile, can you?
I couldn't figure out if you can or not.
I couldn't either. Yeah, so I don't think so. Guys, if you know how to customize the UI on mobile, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I might get back into it honestly. Like if I don't know if I'm like bored and away from my PC, like away from
Mm-hmm.
home, and I might just like
On your
turn on.
commute.
Yeah, I might just like turn on Guild Wars 1. Why not? I
Yeah.
can. If I'm bored of the other games I have on my phone, maybe I'll fire up Guild Wars 1 and I don't know, go 55 monks some undead outside of Nevo Terrace. Get some gold drops, sell them to the merchant. Like it'll be
Right.
just like the good old days, just in the palm of
Yeah.
my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is pretty good stuff. I was pretty impressed. I'm not super up to date on how far we've come as like a society with mobile games.
Mhm.
Um, as far as just like the presentation, how well it plays, and how engaging it is, how would you say this compares to like Genshin, for example?
Like I said, the movement interface is very similar.
Hmm.
The interacting with NPCs and picking up drops in the world is basically the same. The placement of like your skill buttons, it's in the same location, so that felt very familiar. Um, and um, yeah, I think it was just more of the legibility of the text. I think once I got the scaling issues resolved, you can read the NPC text a little bit better than what I had seen when I was having uh, bug issues. I think it could probably be a little bit just scale up a little bit to be able to read quest dialogue. Since Guild Wars 1 is so text heavy, there's no voiceovers really,
Very
except
little.
for
Yeah.
in cutscenes.
Yeah.
Um, that could be something that they are going to need to address. Um, and then obviously that drop down menu. But other than that, I think the movement and the interaction. I was I was able to figure out how to target enemies, but then when I wanted my character to like continue to attack, because like auto attack is a thing,
Hmm.
I couldn't get my character to like just keep auto attacking, and I was like, no, like where is this? And I had to I think I figured out there's just a button that you just have to keep pressing, like the your weapon button on the lower right hand side.
I don't
Um
even think I noticed the weapon button.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was because I play the ranged. I went out on my ritualist
Hmm.
that we're doing for Eye of the North, and I was like, she's not attacking. My heroes are all up there and they're attacking, and that's great. And my spirits are attacking. Cool. When I had a targeted, and I was like my aggro bubble, I was in aggro range. It was working, but if that enemy died, she just stopped, and I was like, "What? Like, keep going. Like, just go to the next target. Like, I have it set on my PC client." So that was something that I was like, "There's probably a setting that I missed on mobile that I need to go back and look for."
Yeah, I went out in pre-searing Ascalon on my Elementalist that I made for the Forsaken Tunnels, and
Mhm.
I just spam flare on that character, so I had
Right.
I had no concept of like auto attacking with a weapon.
Mhm.
Like I use
Mhm.
that weird crystalline longsword, and I'm
Sure.
like staying at range because I just spam flare. So
Right. Yeah.
that's something I didn't really notice. I am toying around with the idea of playing our next episode of Tyria then on mobile, just just for
Yeah.
the novelty.
I ran the first little bit of that quest because I think we're doing the Char homeland, so I got to Long Eye's Ledge outpost, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Oh, this is feels like a good stopping point. I'll come back to this later.
Yeah, like I'll try 30 FPS maybe, and like the heat of my mobile device
Yeah.
notwithstanding, maybe I'll be
Hmm.
able to get through like a whole episode's worth of content and report back on some additional findings.
Yeah.
But I was a little like I played through the hour and then I immediately texted you on Discord and was like, okay, I'm done with mobile.
You're like,
Um,
I need my keyboard and my mouse.
yeah, I have very thick fingers, so,
Mhm.
I found myself constantly mishitting buttons,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I found the drop down menu a little difficult to navigate because of
Hmm.
my big fingers and my millennial brain.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it didn't quite gel with me, but I'm willing to continue to give it a try here and there, mainly
Yeah.
just for the novelty of it. It's nice to have. It's like when they came out with, I used to play RuneScape a lot when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and then when I was in, like, my early 20s, they came out with it for mobile, and I was like, Shit, I'll play that here and there."
Yeah.
And I'd, like, fire up RuneScape every now and then to, like, mine some iron ore or whatever.
Right.
Um, so, yeah, I think this will be, like, a occasionally when the mood strikes me kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Hmm.
But it's certainly nice to have there, and it's certainly nice that for those of us who have played Guild Wars forever, it's just free, right? We just stick it on
Yeah.
our phone and we're going.
Hmm.
Um, it might seem I don't know what they probably got a massive sale on right now for Guild Wars 3, right? So
Yeah.
snapping this up for like $5 or whatever is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I imagine anybody listening to our show already owns the game, but
Hmm.
if you don't, this is a good time to jump in.
Yes.
Speaking of it being a good time to jump in, how good do you think this is going to be for the Guild Wars franchise and for ramping up hype for 3?
I think because, like you said, you can just kind of pick it up whenever you want, um, and play as a way. It doesn't have the same kind of daily system like Guild Wars 2 does. But if
Mhm.
you want to like just kill some time, run a quick quest, um, to do something while you've got time on like your commute on the train or on the bus or on a lunch break. I think that will be fine for it's a good casual player entry point. Um and since ArenaNet is all about we want to respect our players' time, well, this is another way into that. So I think that feeds into or it aligns well with their um studio, what do you want to call that? Mantra.
Mantra? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Look at our mesmer brains aligning on mantra.
Right.
I think it could be. I don't know that it necessarily is or will be, but I think it could be an absolute game changer
Hmm.
for getting players in the door. A
Yeah.
lot of people, the majority of people, like on the planet Earth, if they game, it's on their phone, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of a niche like society. People that game on their PC is kind of a niche thing.
Hmm.
It's been much more popular in the last 10 years, I'd say, gaming on your PC,
Yeah.
to the point where PC might even be the more popular platform at this point, but nothing compares to the mobile market, right?
Right. Yeah. And
And
because
then
there are markets where PC pricing is not as accessible as a phone.
yeah, that was another thing I was going to mention with the way RAM prices are right now. Not
Hmm.
everybody can get a gaming PC. Everybody has a phone, right?
Yep.
If you want to
Yep.
get people into your gaming franchise, mobile is the way to do it right now.
Hmm.
And then when people do explore the mobile game, they're like, "Wow, I really like this. I'd like to try Guild Wars 2 or even have my eye on Guild Wars 3 when it comes out."
Hmm.
Then that might be a conversation they have about, getting into that.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing that I think is super interesting is the fact that this not only is it on mobile now, but it fills a niche that isn't super available on mobile.
Hmm.
Um, because I've been looking for a like robust RPG that's not a scam on mobile devices for like
Right.
years at this point.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't exist. Like they're not real.
Right.
Um, they're all either ad riddled or now they're all AI, right?
Hmm.
And so having a just like full blown 3D, well rendered, well written, well executed RPG that you can just play start to finish, like with a full story and multiple campaigns and quests on
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah.
Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Craig, let me know in the comments if you guys play like sick RPGs on your phone. But
Mhm.
to my knowledge, this doesn't exist up to this point. The closest things would be like you mentioned, Honkai and Genshin, games like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Those are a little too gotcha-y for me,
Right.
but this is kind of in a different vein as it's more Western.
Hmm.
So it's a primarily Western RPG, and then it's much less monetized, obviously, which is super
Hmm.
rare on mobile.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think this is a super unique offering to the mobile gaming field, and I think ArenaNet should market the absolute shit out of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, like they have been.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's as they should.
Absolutely.
The Guild Wars 3 announcement generates the initial hype, and then they should put all that hype into mobile for the next few months.
Yeah.
And then they should also keep that advertising budget there for mobile, just like standard,
Hmm.
because mobile's just the biggest audience out there, and there's always more people to bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be it has the potential to be the one of the best player funnels they've had since putting the game on Steam, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that.
That's more or less everything I've got on mobile.
Yeah.
Didn't play a whole lot of it. Was impressed with what I saw. Heard about a few bugs. I heard about a bug where when people tried to log into their long-standing account, it said password incorrect.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, and this
Well,
was like
or not funny. That would be annoying.
it was yeah, it didn't happen to me, but I'm in a Discord with somebody that it happened to, and they were pretty annoyed. But I think
Yeah.
ArenaNet patched that in like 2 days or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I
Um,
will say that the game, because of the scaling, and because it's made for mobile, it will scale no matter what your device size is, and it looks good. I mean, you can play it on an iPad if you want. You can play it on a Steam Deck kind of thing on if you want. And the trailer that the mobile trailer or the launch trailer that they put out has somebody playing on like one of those like foldable phones, and it opens up into like a square, and it looks really good.
are
Um,
those cool? Should I be getting a foldable phone? Is that cool again?
I don't know. I mean, it's foldable. It's not like the original foldable phones, you know what I mean? But yeah, foldables are apparently a thing. I don't know.
Nothing will ever be as cool as the Motorola Razr.
There you go. But yeah, so whatever your mobile device is, they're trying to support it. There are a couple that are not as they're more like niche brands,
Mhm.
not as well known, and they're running into, "Hey, sorry, we don't support that device because we didn't know it existed."
Yeah, don't
That
try to
kind of
play this
thing.
on your Google Pixel 10, guys. Not
Right.
gonna happen. I don't know which Google Pixel they're on. 10 sounds right. I don't know.
I'm not sure, I forget. I just got an email about, like, "Hey, do you wanna move to Pixel?" And I'm like, I'm cool over here, thanks."
Yeah, no, I'm doing great, but, I may upgrade my phone soon because, my very elderly phone is it becoming a microwave, when I try to run
Mm,
this game, so
yeah.
Guild Wars Reforged, you might have convinced me to buy a new phone, but
There you go.
yeah, I recommend picking this up if you're interested in maybe playing Guild Wars when you're on the go. If you're looking for a fantasy RPG to play on your phone that's not just full of like scams and ads, I would recommend this.
Mhm.
So, Miko, any closing thoughts on Guild Wars Reforged Mobile?
No, I'm kinda cool. I'm happy that it's here. I'm happy that it is as smooth and it looks as good. I mean, it looks as good as it does on my PC. Um, I will I'll keep it on my phone, and, log into it when I feel like it. I'll probably still, like you, play more primarily on my PC, just because I like to be able I'm used to the controls that way. I mean, even it's the same way that what I do with, like, Genshin and Honkai Star
Mhm.
Rail. I have the mobile apps for, quick logins, and then I'm like, I can't deal with the smallness and having to like manipulate things with my fingers, with thumbs, I should say. And I'll just stick to my keyboard and mouse because it's comfortable.
Yeah, guys, we're elderly. We can't really. We're not these mobile gaming virtuosos, but if you guys are, props to you.
Yeah.
Um,
And, if you are, then you're probably going to really love this.
Closing question for you, Miko.
Yeah.
How long until Guild Wars 2 is on mobile?
Um, they're not going to put it on mobile, is what they said. And I kind of believe them because it's more complicated. Um, the combat. I mean, if they were able to figure out a way to simplify the combat for mobile, but I don't see it. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, because it's definitely a like no plans at the moment, right?
Mhm.
Because like if you asked them 5 years ago, are you planning on putting Guild Wars 1 on mobile? I doubt they would have said that they are. Maybe in
Yeah,
10 years we'll have phones that can run Guild Wars 2.
maybe.
I'm still not
Um,
gonna install it or log in, but
yeah, no.
no,
No,
I
I
probably
would
would.
I
I'd
would
probably try it out.
I would actually be more surprised since they've come out and said that Guild Wars 3 is sort of going to be living in a space, an MMORPG space that's sort of between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
I could see 3 if it's living in that kind of in between space being more mobile friendly.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's something I want to really dive into on our next episode of Tyria Reforged, because the next episode is going to be more Guild Wars 3 coverage, ideally.
mhm.
So we're probably going to address that question and many more on next episode of Tyria Reforged, guys. Once we've got some more news from ArenaNet on Guild Wars 3. Until then, Miko, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Inky Sticks on your not mobile, your social media platform of choice.
All right, guys. And you can find us at Tyria Now on YouTube and Blue Sky and Twitter and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So go ahead and follow us on those platforms if you have not already. And leave us a comment with when you think we're going to see Guild Wars 2 on mobile, or if you think it's going to be Guild Wars 3 instead. Until then, we'll see you later, guys.
Bye.